Hello everyone, welcome to Trades Talk Tuesday. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. You can call me Pop for short. And on this stream, we take a look at jobs from an industrial point of view. I like to get out there and see what's going on out in industry, where things are getting built, things are getting repaired. We got new construction. I'm still trying to get over that bit of a cough, too. It's getting better, though. And I'm going to get along to the news of the week. But before I do that, I'd like to say hello to David Glenn. How are things? How are things going with you, David? And DJ Ronnie G. What's up, DJ? It's time for you to start your weekend. And anybody else that happens to be lurking and listening, whether you're on Kick or Rumble or YouTube or Twitch. I am on all of those, and I am broadcasting loud and proud. Here we go. Hi, Pop for short. Yes, DJ. Very clever. And we're doing a deep clean during the shutdown. There's not a lot of things to do deep cleaning on, but I will get into what's going on during the shutdown. You took the day off, so it's like a bonus day. Oh, extra long weekend for DJ. Good job, DJ. Let's get to the news here and see what's going on there. I already looked through here and saw a few stories that popped up. Hyundai and GM team up to explore joint vehicle supply chain and clean energy projects. So Hyundai and GM. General Motors and Hyundai have signed a memorandum of understanding to explore future collaboration across key strategic areas. GM and Hyundai will look for ways to leverage their complementary scale and strengths to reduce costs and bring a wider range of vehicles and technologies to customers faster. Potential collaboration projects center on co-development and production of passenger and commercial vehicles, internal combustion engines, and clean energy, electric, and hydrogen technologies. The two leading global OEMs will also review opportunities for combined sourcing in areas such as battery raw materials, steel, and other areas. The framework agreement was signed by Hyundai Motor Group Executive Chair Yusun Chung and GM Chair CEO Mary Barra. Hey, Alex Moore, how you doing? Good to see ya. So does that mean GM vehicles will be easier to see? Probably. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they come up with. This is just a joint effort between these two companies, so it's probably really just to lower costs if you have two people paying for something rather than just one company doing it all. So it will be, we'll see what comes out of it. Keep your eyes peeled, guys, what these guys are going to do. You read this says we don't actually want to invest in some of this, so we'll just share some of the R&D. That's what I think too, DJ. It's probably just, we'll put both our companies together to build stuff. And hello to you, Tits and Reagan. What's up, Tits? Hydro burners are a technology they fought for decades. Yeah, hydro burners, yeah. I mean, I've mentioned this before on the channel that back in the 90s, they had the Ballard fuel cell, and that was supposed to be like revolutionary, change the world, look out, here we go, this is the best thing ever. And it's like, it's been suppressed. You don't hear about it anymore. There's like, that's like what happens. It must have been doing well, and they're like, well, we can't have this thing do well. Time to step on its neck. They're going to import cheap Chinese cars and put their badge on it. Ah, there you go, Tits. That's probably what it'll be. That's your cue to switch to live chat. There you go. Yeah, don't forget, everybody, switch to live chat. Let's keep that going. 200 mile per gallon carb. I have a history book that shows the guy that lived in Winnipeg that invented the 200 mile per gallon carb. And mysteriously, people broke into his garage and stole just that. So, yeah, it's there's a lot to that. And we could get right into that too. But let's just finish up on the old article here. GM and Hyundai have complementary strengths, talented teams. Goal is to unlock the scale and creativity of both companies to deliver even more competitive vehicles to customers faster and more efficiently. Yeah, just don't try to do it faster and efficiently like Boeing, okay? I don't want a Boeing car. Hyundai and GM's flexibility and agility will allow both companies to explore the development of their shared capabilities. It sounds like word salad to me. The partnership will enable Hyundai and GM to evaluate opportunities to enhance competitiveness in key markets and vehicle segments, as well as drive cost efficiencies and provide stronger customer value through our combined expertise and innovative technologies. Yeah, fancy words. Like I said, word salad. Following the signing of the non-binding Memorandum of Understanding, assessment of opportunities and progression towards binding agreements will begin immediately. Okay. Well, keep your eyes peeled, guys. See what comes out of that. No, don't care about the new president of New Air. Kruger to invest $32.4 million at a Kamloops pulp mill. Now, why are they investing in a pulp mill? Hello, Skylar. How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. What do we got here? On September 12th, Kruger announced it will invest $32.4 million in its Kamloops pulp mill to implement innovative technology intended to diversify its product portfolio and expand into fast-growing markets. In addition to improving Kruger Kamloops' competitiveness, performance, and environmental footprint, this initiative is expected to contribute to securing 340 jobs at the mill, as well as 1,000 indirect jobs in BC. The project was announced during a press event held at the Kruger Kamloops facility. Those in attendance included Brenda Bailey, BC's Minister of Jobs, Economic Development and Innovation. Excuse me. Eric Ashby, Executive Vice President, Chief Operating Officer of Kruger. Roman Gallo, Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Kruger's Pulp Mill and Paper Division. And Irene Preto, General Manager of the Kamloops Pulp Mill. The governments of Canada and British Columbia are contributing $5 million each to this project through the Investment in Forestry Industry Transformation Program and the BC Manufacturing Jobs Fund. Reportedly, Kruger Kamloops' new pulp washing system will enhance the plant's effectiveness and reduce inorganic material and talc in the finished product. The process will also result in a reduction in bleaching chemical usage. This technology will be combined with advanced controls and AI-based capabilities to ensure that the pulp consistently meets the most stringent requirements for specialty products that require ultra-clean pulp. Slated for completion in 2026, the company says the project will enable Kruger Kamloops to increase production of ultra-clean pulp from 43,000 megatons in its first year to up more than 115,000 megatons annually in its third year and beyond. Wow. That is quite a lot. No wonder they're doing an investment. That's it for that story. What else we got here? Atkins Realis awarded major UK rail signaling upgrade contract. Bell announces technology collaboration with mining equipment manufacturer McLean. Ontario is investing $9 million to train thousands of manufacturing workers in Windsor. I wonder why that is. The Ontario government has announced it is investing over $9 million to train approximately 2,300 manufacturing construction sector workers in Windsor. This includes a $4.7 million investment to build a new training facility for local electrical workers through the new $224 million Skills Development Fund capital stream. With its long history as a manufacturing powerhouse, Windsor is at the heart of our government's plan to bring good-paying manufacturing jobs, including in the growing electric vehicle and battery sector, back to Ontario, said Premier Doug Ford. And the ultra clean pulp will sell for 5 times the price. Yes, tits. They do want a return on their investment, so I'm sure that's what'll happen. Today, more than $9 million in investments from our Government Skills Development Fund will support the world-class workers here in Windsor who are rebuilding Ontario's economy by ensuring they have the skills and training they need to secure better jobs and bigger paychecks for years to come. The funding comes from both the training and capital streams of the SDF, which are designed to recruit, train, and upskill workers and build or upgrade training centers for the skilled trades. These projects include International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network, and International Association of Bridge and Iron Workers, Local 700. As Ontario leads the world in electric vehicles and advanced manufacturing, our government is proud to work with labour and industry partners to ensure auto workers in Windsor and across the province have opportunities and skills to thrive in this rapidly growing sector, said David Piccini, Minister of Labour, Immigration Training, Skills Development. Through our Skills Development Fund, we're providing cutting-edge training programs and building a new training facility in Windsor to deliver better training, better jobs, and bigger paychecks for thousands more auto workers who are driving our economy forward. Applications are open for the government's 5th round of SDF training stream with up to $260 million in available funding, the largest funding round since the fund launch in 2021. Okay, good. Make sure you guys keep investing in the young workers. Yep, skills to pay the bills. You got her, David. Here's one. Now, with all the Boeing stuff going on, Airbus marks 40 years in Canada with new helicopter order. Honestly, Airbus should be like swooping in while all this is going down with Boeing and their fiasco. All the other, anybody else that's a builder of, airplanes, jets, all that stuff, they should be taking advantage of this while they can. Because Boeing might bounce back from this, but I don't know if they'll be trusted ever again. Ottawa has to get in on the grift. Windsor is chosen so they can pollute and blame Detroit. Well, they're right there. They're right next to them. Windsor and Detroit. You just got a bridge separating the two, I think. Let's see what goes on here. Airbus Helicopters is marking its 40-year presence in Canada with a recent order by the Government of Ontario for 3 H-135 helicopters. These helicopters are designed for use by the Ontario Provincial Police in Ottawa, the Greater Toronto Area, and the OPP's Thunder Bay region. Since establishing its Fort Erie, Ontario facility in 1984, Airbus has significantly expanded its operations across Canada. The company's footprint now includes activities in commercial airliners, helicopters, defense, and space sectors with facilities in Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Quebec. Additionally, Airbus operates the A220 commercial airline final assembly line and program headquarters in Mirabel. Your grandniece is taking a welding class in high school. She likes it, and there's quite a few fabrication shops in this area. Tell her I'm very proud of her. That's great. That's great news, David. I'm very glad that's happening. She's going to have a great career, especially if there's fabrication shops in the area. Like having a good fabricator, that's worth their weight. They're worth their weight in gold because fabricators are amazing. Welding, you just put your head down and just pour a bead. But fabricating, you're putting things together correctly. Oh yeah, it takes a lot more thought process into it, that's for sure. Airbus makes solid plane. Good to know, tits. They should be paying attention to this as well, what's going on at Boeing, and make sure they don't do that. Don't do what Boeing does. Airbus helicopters have been involved in various sectors in Canada, including law enforcement, emergency medical services, energy, firefighting, search and rescue, and private transport. At a recent event at the Fort Erie facility, Premier Doug Ford, Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade Vic Fideli, alongside other officials, acknowledged the company's 4 decades of contributions to the Canadian aerospace industry. Premier Ford highlighted Airbus' role in creating jobs and supporting Ontario's manufacturing sector. He also announced the government's order of 3 Airbus H-135 helicopters intended to enhance the OPP's capabilities in combating auto theft and ensuring community safety. Minister Fedeli praised Airbus for its role in showcasing Ontario-made innovation and supporting the province's skilled workforce. Dwayne Charret, president of Airbus Helicopters in Canada, expressed appreciation for the continued trust from law enforcement and partners and emphasized the company's commitment to addressing the unique needs of its customers. As Airbus celebrates its 40th anniversary, the company says it's reaffirming its commitment to advancing sustainable aerospace. Airbus says it intends to actively contribute to sustainable development and the transformation of the aerospace sector by developing a range of solutions, including cleaner fuels, hydrogen-powered aircraft, and electric options. Have you already made the Boeing Aerospace and Screen Door Company joke here? You may have last week, but that's okay. I'll allow it. Earlier this year, Airbus announced respective memorandums of understanding with Canada's 3 busiest airports: Montreal Trudeau International Airport, Toronto Pearson International Airport, and Vancouver International Airport to study the feasibility of hydrogen infrastructure. I mean, wouldn't that be better? Hydrogen-powered planes? I mean, as long as they can, because hydrogen is such a small molecule, it could, seep out of whatever they have. They really have to make it so it seals up well to keep it all together. But hydrogen-powered airplanes would be really good, minus the explosion and all that might happen. But, if it cuts down on pollution. Didn't Elon have to send his rocket to rescue the astronauts because Boeing's rockets failed? Yes. Yeah. In fact, if I was the astronauts, I'd be like, if a Boeing ship arrived, I'd be like, no, that's okay, we're good. We'll catch SpaceX. James, since you have gone high, you shall go low. All right then. The Starliner did land successfully, but you don't think NASA wanted to take a chance with another Challenger or Columbia? Oh yeah. Getting low. In Ontario, Airbus Helicopters employs around 300 people and has delivered nearly 600 helicopters since 1984, with the Fort Erie facility providing critical components and support to global customers. Well, that's all right. I mean, a good business practice would be when your competition takes a misstep like Boeing and does something dumb, make sure you talk up to their customers. Hey, ours don't do that. Our doors don't fall off. Ours don't drop out of the sky. I think they should anyway. Okay, well that's it for the news there. Let's move along to some of the other articles I was looking through. What was this from? Oh, come on. What happened here? Okay, well I don't know why, but okay. The collective responsibility to promote skilled trades, why society needs to highlight the trades as a respected career path. Did Raytheon share the top secret submarine screen doors? They might have. So here's just a little bit of, doesn't look like to be a big article anyway, just a tiny one. Anyway, despite the common emphasis on college degrees as the primary route to success, skilled trades offer a crucial and undervalued pathway for career development. As industries report a severe skill shortage, the necessity for a robust workforce of skilled laborers becomes undeniable. The Bureau of Labor Statistics highlights this urgency in its report on fast declining occupations. Are skilled trades the underestimated backbone of our economy? How can we shift societal perceptions and promote skilled trades as a viable career option? Well, first of all, quit dumping on them, as I know people will like to do. The people that have the the degrees in liberal arts degrees. I'm sure they like to do that until you're the electrician that's disconnecting their power for them not being able to pay their bill. You know, you can have a open door on the bottom of a sub, but you're guessing that only works up to a certain depth. Or you can be like, what was that thing that identified as a submarine that all the billionaires went in? Yeah, don't do that. Raytheon thinks everything is a screen door. You think it was Raytheon? Several hundred top secret agents sold, given to the CCP. Oh. Join host Greg Crumpton on Straight Outta Crumpton as he welcomes Steve Turner, the founder of Bring Back the Trades. They dive into the essential role of trade in today's economy and discuss innovative ways to promote and revitalize these crucial careers. Highlights from the discussion: challenges in the trades, addressing the current shortage of skilled tradesmen and societal undervaluing of these essential careers. Only foolish people would undervalue the careers of the trades. It's in everything that gets done, no matter what. So it's foolish to be like, oh, we don't need those guys. Impact of education on trade centers, how educational systems and parental perspectives can promote skilled trades as respected career paths. Yeah, and that's just parents having to change the way of thinking. So they're going to have to not look down on them so much, or most of the time it's probably the parents that have college degrees that are looking down on them. For those of us whose parents didn't have college degrees, they did not speak ill of the trades at all. In fact, they encouraged, oh yeah, hey, you gotta have a career. You can't just go and be a laborer. It's you're gonna lose your job quickly when the layoffs come. So get into the skilled trades and you'll be able to hang on to your job longer. It was one of those defense contractor companies. It was not Boeing, maybe Raytheon, maybe Northrop Grumman. Yeah, carbon fiber subs, DJ. So yeah, future of trade, strategies to engage more young people and career changes in skilled trades through outreach, education, and incentives. I mean, start out when they're in junior high. Just show them what's involved, show them what they can earn, and I'm sure they'll be like, hey, this is for me, especially if they're good at shop classes. Like, do they even do shop classes in school anymore? I think they should bring that back. I think they should have shop classes, and they should have home economic classes. And by home ec, I mean you learn cooking, you learn sewing. That's what I did when I went to school. We did half the year was called industrial education, and we did drafting, woodwork, and metalwork, and a little bit of welding. I think we did anyway. It was a lot of years ago. And then the second half of the year was home economics, which was you learned how to bake things and make food, and you learned how to sew using a sewing machine. So I think that's a great idea. They should do that. They stopped shop classes long ago. Thank God, Zillionaire. I was hoping they didn't. Yeah, tits, take every certification they offer because indispensable. Yeah, you become indispensable. If you can, any training they're offering, take it. Take it and become that guy that's like, oh no, he's the only one that knows how to do that. Oh, he's the only one that knows how to operate this machine, so we can't lay him off, but we'll keep him. Well, that was a quick article. Teens are losing faith in college, giving rise to interest in skilled trades. Okay, this is from Philadelphia, Channel 10. I don't know if anybody's near Philadelphia. Can you guys vouch for this? Are teens losing faith in college? That's what this person who wrote this at CNBC seems to think. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see if it's a good article or if we have to rip it apart. You still have vocational technical training available for local high schools. That's good. Good. You took typing and it was a great skill to learn. Yep, 100% typing in school. I remember that. Home ec was just an excuse to fool around with girls in fabric closet. Shh, not supposed to give that away. You did too, absolutely useless on the damn phone. Yeah. Let's see what they say here. Concerns over rising college costs and student loan debt are causing some high schoolers to choose more career-connected pathways over a 4-year degree. Increasing opportunities in the skilled trades with a secure job track and high earnings potential are helping transform Generation Z into so-called tool belt generation. I've yet to see that. I have yet to see that. I mean, as I move along in my career here, I'm going to want an apprentice. And if it's Gen Z or Gen Alpha, I'll wait and see if they're going to be worthy of being taught. Four years after the pandemic began, there are more than 900,000 fewer undergraduates enrolled in college. The overall rate of high school graduates choosing to enroll in college held steady in 2023 compared to earlier year, according to a recent report from the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, which Doug Shapiro, the center's executive director, said was an optimistic sign. Although the data shows the rate of high school graduates enrolling within a year of their graduation is significantly higher for students from low-poverty schools. Large and widening gaps for low-income students continue to be a cause for concern, Shapiro said. Increasingly, worries over rising costs and large student loan balances are causing some high schoolers to make alternative plans after high school. A separate report by Junior Achievement and Citizens found Junior Achievement and Citizen polled 1,000 teenagers between the ages of 13 and 18 in July. Roughly half, or 49%, believe a high school degree, trade program, 2-year degree, or other type of enrichment program is the highest level of education needed for their anticipated career path. Even more, 56% believe that real-world and on-the-job experience is more beneficial than obtaining a higher education degree. Teens are starting to get a clearer idea, if they are not going to go to college route, of what their alternatives might be, said Ed Grocholski, Chief Marketing Officer at Junior Achievement. Advancements in artificial intelligence and technology training have also helped change the equation for some young people. Yoga class in college was great for meeting women. There you go. Tips from David Glenn. None of your nephews have a degree. They all have decent careers, if not the most lucrative. There you go. It would be cool to be my apprentice. Well, you know what? You'd learn a lot, and I'd be tough but fair, right? And there would be a lot of you learning by trial and error. I wouldn't tell you the answer, but I would let you learn on your own, because you are going to make mistakes, and you don't learn unless you make mistakes. Gen Z being tools on the job site is not the same as using You got her, tits, yeah. Oh, you're not the tool belt generation. You're just a tool. Okay, between online credits and certifications, there are more career-connected pathways available at a lower cost, according to Grocholski. College is one pathway I can take, but then there are other pathways that wasn't as clear a few years ago. A separate study commissioned by EdAssist by Bright Horizons underscored the role student loan debt has played in rethinking the value of college. Yeah. Don't, and I repeat, don't go to college if you're going to come out with it's like massive debt on the other side. That's just terrible. Nobody needs to start out their career being in debt. And it's just disgusting that colleges allow that, and they have no. They don't want students to quit, So they have lots of counselors to try to keep the kids in school so they can get that, sweet, sweet tuition. But it's ridiculous having to have a student loan debt. Trial and error. Is this wire hot or not? That's electrical. Godzilla. I'm mechanical. One's a cook, one does something with the computer and phone sales and construction. There you go, James. They've got it all figured out. Seems like they're doing well. And cooks can make really good. Well, cooks or chefs, they can make really good money too, especially if they're, working at a high-end restaurant. Starting a career with debt isn't bad if you start a high salary with which to pay it out. Okay, yeah. It's not very often that you can do that right off the bat there, Godzillionaire, but I get what you're saying. You met so many people in the restaurant industry that were $40K in debt with a worthless degree. Oh, man. Yeah, that's harsh, David. Your rule of thumb was don't spend more a year for college than your annual salary would be. Hey, there you go. That is a good rule of thumb. If we could pass that along to those the kids that are looking to get into college, hopefully they would listen to it. And I guess they have to understand that debt is bad. It's bad to be in debt. It's not what you want to start out with, owing money to someone else. Stick your tongue on that gear? Me, probably? Come on now. I wouldn't be that mean. Now, 86% of U.S. workers with education debt said their degree wasn't worth the toll that student loans has had on their overall well-being. Well, there you go. It's there right there, written in black and white. Further, 53% of workers said that knowing they would incur additional debt has prevented them from pursuing more education, according to Bright Horizons' 4th Annual Education Index, which in May polled more than 2,000 adults who are employed either full or part-time. With college costs now nearing 6 figures a year and ballooning, student loan problem, more would-be students are pursuing careers in skilled trades, other studies show. Over 2012 to 2021, the number of registered apprentices rose 64%, according to data from the U.S. Department of Labor, especially in industries such as construction, public administration, and education. From 2021 to 2023 alone, enrollment in vocational programs jumped 16%. A shortage of skilled tradesmen due to experienced workers aging out of the field is also boosting the number of job opportunities and pay. This is true. There's a shortage. I've said it before. The boomers are retiring, and there's no one to fill their spot, which is poor planning on the company's part. So they just can't cry because they are part of the problem. They didn't plan. It's demographics. You can follow the demographics chart and you can see, in this year, the majority of the baby boomers are going to be retiring. So they're not going to be around anymore to teach the younger generation. So companies, cry all you want, but it's your own damn fault for not planning properly. $60K a year for a $35K a year job. Brilliant! Where do we go here? The great news about economics is the law of supply and demand, said certified financial planner Ted Jenkins, CEO and founder of Oxygen Financial in Atlanta and a member of CNBC's Financial Advisor Council. The college affordability crisis and the rise of alternative career pathways together have helped transform Generation Z into the so-called tool belt generation, and many are benefiting from the secure job track and high earnings potential through vocational jobs now provide. The delta between white-collar jobs and good blue-collar jobs is not that big anymore, Jenkins said. Federal data also shows that trade school students are more likely to be employed after school than their degree-seeking counterparts, and much more likely to work in a job related to their field of study. There you go. Personally, you think you shouldn't need a degree for veterinary medicine. You'd learn more apprenticing. Yeah, that'd be something else, eh, Tits? If they just had it so that there was an apprenticeship program for being a veterinary, for doing veterinary medicine. Not just boomers. We older Gen Xers are going to start retiring soon. I've got a while to go still. If I keep liking if I still like where I'm at in, 15 years, maybe I won't retire. But I do have 15 years to go. So, well, I guess 14 now. I got 14 years to go. So in 10 years, I'm going to ask them for an apprentice, and then after that, I'll be like, hey, you better get me an apprentice because I'm retiring soon. So we'll see how that goes. You're a boomer, but more of a Gen Xer, right on that line, 1963. Ah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're right there, David. Okay, that's that one. This one says Barrie's in Ontario. It's a town in Ontario. Barrie Job Fair to introduce thousands of students to skilled trades. This is how you do it. Man. This year, over 35,000 students from grades 7 to 12. Perfect. That's the perfect ages they should be having up there. Grades 7 to 12. They can explore over 140 skilled trades through the Level Up Skilled Trades Career Fairs taking place in Barrie on September 17th. Well, that's today. Teens can experiment with hands-on activities and interactive exhibitions while hearing directly from tradesmen and local employers. 15 years, go with God, my child. Thanks, Tits. We'll all be fighting the Battle of Taiwan in 15 years. Oh, Godzillionaire with the prediction. You heard it here, folks. Nearly 300,000 jobs are going unfilled across our province, and by 2025, which is next year, about 1 in 5 job openings in Ontario is projected to be in the skilled trades. Ontario is facing a historic labor shortage, and we need all hands on deck to build a stronger Ontario for all of us. In its third year, the fair will visit 15 communities across Ontario, returning to London, Mississauga, Oshawa, Ottawa, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, and Thunder Bay. Additionally, Level Up has expanded to 7 new communities, bringing fairs to Barrie, Cobourg, Cornwall, Kitchener, Niagara Falls, North Bay, and South Porcupine. I've never heard of South Porcupine before. I've heard of all of those other towns, but I've never heard of South Porcupine. This year's fair at ESSA Agriplex features exhibitors, participating students, families, and job seekers, featuring over 150 exhibitors. Each career offers an enhanced experience to help students take the first step towards a career in the skilled trades. Well, good. Get them out there. Look at this. This picture right here. They've got an operating a backhoe. It's like, hey, you can be a heavy equipment operator. A little bit of welding. You want to know what goes on in Flin Flon? That's Manitoba, and that's pretty far north, too. So, I'll tell you what, they watch out for polar bears. Just like I think in Churchill, Manitoba is like the polar bear capital of Canada. So, there you go. Hammer that nail, kid. Look at that. It shows them machining. You'll be 73 in 15 years unless Taiwan is code for making it to the toilet before I poop myself. I won't be going. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm very grateful that I'm beyond the age of recruitment into the Army, that's for sure. At least for frontline combat. Okay, so that's that. Well, you guys know what time it is now, don't you? Picture time, picture time, picture and stories. All right, so let's see, pictures and stories. Do that, do that. Okay, do you guys remember I was telling you and I showed you how I took apart this valve? Well, I've got an update for you on it. As you can see, the gasket sealing face, as you can see right here, which is this part right here. I had my reliability engineer look it over, and he figures this thing is not worth putting back in service. Buying new seals, and these things, this is crazy. I have to get special seals. And I had my vendor get in touch with the manufacturer about these special seals I need. So I have to buy 2 of these. Can you guys guess how much? Just take a wild guess. How much it is for 2 of these seals? I'll wait. What are they made of? This is nothing special. This is just like some ceramic, and this is just steel. So, yeah, take a guess. How much for 2 seals? Just throw some numbers out there, you guys. $1,200, $600 a piece, $980. $350. $350. Nope. For both seals, it's $4,600. And that's for them to show up in 7 to 9 weeks. If I want them to show up between 1 to 3 weeks, I have to pay $5,600. Or, yeah, as you can see, these are the wrong seats. These are the ones I need, but these are the old ones. Oops, that's not. So, and the price of a new valve is $8,000. So, I have to convince the manager that fuck me sideways. Yeah, tits. I know. These are what did they call these? Fire rated seals. So these are special seals. They're fire rated. And this valve is $8,000. So I have to convince the manager to buy a new valve because, first of all, this one's obsolete. We've got our money's worth out of it. It's probably from the 60s. It's probably, it's done its work. But we've got to convince him to spend $8,000 to buy a new valve, because if we spend $4,600 on seals, the valve will throw away before we throw out the seals. Yeah, they're fire rated, DJ. Fire rated seals. I think it must be a valve for working in places like the oil and gas industry where there's flammability is a problem. Things starting on fire. Seal business is big money. You got her, Godzillionaire. You give away the original and make your money on replacements and parts. Yep. You buy the molds, mix the ceramic, and bake them for roughly $2,600. I just don't have the oven to do that in. Like, you know, you don't get the old easy bake oven. But yeah, that's the update with that. So I finally got back from the manufacturer that these what these are going to cost, and it's more than half of what a valve costs. So as the rule of thumb is, if the parts cost half or more than what a new one costs, you buy a new one. And this might be resolved next year with the new budget and such, because $8,000 is quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to spend that right now. All right. I think there was something else I had here for you guys. Just let me check here. Pretty sure it's something you guys will appreciate. I'm pretty sure I downloaded that. Dun, dun. Let's see. No, that's not it. Put it under safety? No. I might have forgotten to download it to my USB drive. Okay, well. So you guys hear me. I talk about shutdown a lot, which is what we're doing right now. And what that means is any machinery that was running, that we can't stop running, we stop. Whether it's a pump, a compressor, anything like that, it stops and it gets rebuilt or worked on in some manner and put back into service. Yeah, BER limit. Exactly, Godzilla. Beyond economical repair. Yep. What do those seals go to? This valve here, tits. This thing right here. So those seals go inside this valve. And hello, Mike from Pacific 414. How you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, I had a video of where I took that apart. That valve. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it wasn't there. Wasn't there. No, it wasn't there either. Huh. Give me a second here. I'll check that up. No, that's pump. Huh, I might have put it somewhere else where I can't find it right now. Scroll, scroll, scroll. There it is. Go like this. How am I this evening? I am doing pretty darn good. Still got a bit of a cough, but I am powering through it, and we're just talking about shutdown right now. So yeah, here it is right here. This is where these things go, tits. You'll see right away. Right when I put this in there. The craw. It's the craw. Nope, not that way. There we go. So that's the ball that does the sealing. There's the seals. They sit in there. Just pull it out. There you go. And that's where they sit against. And yeah, you can see lots and lots of wear. Carve you a couple seals out of redwood and tree sap, only $2.50 each. What a bargain. Sold! I'll take you up on that, tits. But yes, shutdown. And every time it's shut down, there are certain things that get done every time. One thing is that the gas compressors get rebuilt. So that happens every time. Because you can't afford to have leaks, and your gas compressor is what makes you your money. It is what makes your product. It helps convey the product from the pit all the way out to the end, where it gets stored in vessels. So those always get rebuilt. And those are... well, we don't have to display capture anymore. Those are just like fancy air compressors. Let's see. See if there's any picture. Screw Google for their stupid images. Let's go for DuckDuckGo here. Okay. Boom. There we go. Yeah, so it kind of looks like this. So this is a compressor. It's just a long rod that's driven by a drive shaft, crankshaft. And it just moves back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. A reciprocating compressor. It's probably got it's got two pistons in it, a high pressure or a low pressure, and then a high pressure. So it'll work back and forth. It'll pump from the low pressure to the high pressure, and then from the high pressure and out. That's how it'll work. They are they're very simple to work on, and they just work and work and work. They better maintenance those pipes. You'll be throwing pigs again this May. Yes, we're actually changing the spool pieces out there, tits. So we have brand new spool pieces made up, and we're going to put those in. The coil should be good, and until, well, I think we should go down in May again. I don't think we should wait till next September. I think we should go down in May, and then after that, pig it then, and then be done with it. But that's not my call. I can only make it a suggestion. So yeah, the one brand we have is a Worthington compressor, and it's like I say, it's just a long rod compressors. Those long rod compressors make the girlies weak in the knees. They just reciprocate so much. I don't even think I can find the one that I have. It's Well, not on the internet anyway. I think I have pictures of it anyway. Let's yeah, I can show you that instead. That'd probably be better, because I don't see any pictures of it on the internet. It's from 1967, if you can believe it. And it's still running to this day. So, just goes to show you the quality that was put into things back in the 1960s. The thing is freaking thick like a tank. Like when you take a side cover off, you better have a good grip on it, because it is going to cause some damage if it falls. Here we go. Let me show you here. There you go. There is the Worthington compressor. This is where the valves go. The one I have was built by Ben Franklin. Hey, he knew his stuff. So there you are. I believe this is the low pressure end, and then this is the high pressure end. So there's looking down into where the valves sit, and then you can see there's part of the piston. So the piston compresses. Old Worthington doesn't technically exist anymore. Thanks, Godzillionaire. I wasn't quite sure. I don't think we could even buy parts for this thing anymore. Anything we need, if we need new valves, we have to get them made from scratch. And there's, when we pull it apart, there is a little tape. There's a table we get made by the scaffold company, and they set it up so we can set all the parts on it. There's the inside. There's the rod. And this packing here, this gets changed every year. So there's like 4 sets of packing. The size of the bolts, imagine that pressure. The pressure is only 260 psi, which is no big deal for it to handle. We don't need it any higher than that. 260 psi. The fact of that it's compressing hydrogen sulfide, that's what we're more concerned about. That's why the packing gets changed every time. And we make sure everything is sealed up really well before we put it back into service. So there's the access, one of the sides that come off. You access it, and you can see all the silicone that goes around it. Not flax packing, carbon seals, DJ. As you can see a little bit of sulfur there. So that packing is leaking a little bit. 250 psi is the max safe pressure for cast iron, if memory serves. Okay. That's good to know, Godzillionaire. I wasn't sure about that. Not hydrogen phosphide, hydrogen sulfide. H2S. Now you can see the sulfur there, where it was leaking by the packing. So that needs to be cleaned, and there's packing on this side here as well. That gets taken apart, pulled out of there. A little better shot of it there. This is the oil line that goes in and lubricates the packing. And then once it's done, there's the drain line for it. The drain line comes out. Not quite H2SO4 tits, it's H2S. That's it. No, there's no O4. It eats like a German woman. Other than that, very clean inside still. Just the remnants of some sulfur. Yes, Godzillionaire, that is one huge packing gland. So this whole thing we have to remove the rod first. So the rod has to come out. And then once the rod comes out, then we can take these 4 bolts off and then the oil lines and then pull that whole packing assembly out. There's like four sets of carbon rings in there. And then that gets pulled out and they get replaced with brand new ones. There's another access point. This one's not as good to get at because of this I-beam here. So it makes it a little tougher to get at. So there's the end, the very end. We have to move everything and pull everything off with a chainfall because of how heavy everything is. Like, look at this. That is a solid chunk of steel. And it's just the cap on the end. The other man said, I'll have H2O2. The other man died. Considering it's from the 60s, it's still in excellent shape. I mean, the guys have been doing... I have records dating back to the 60s from the other maintenance guys. They wrote every year as to what they did to the compressor. I-beam in the way, don't you love it when they build a plant around the machine? Yeah. What'd you miss? Well, James, not much. Just talking about shutdown now and how there are some things that get done every year. Like the rebuilding of this compressor, this gas compressor. So here's the gasket. That needs to get cleaned off there. That's the remnants of the gasket. We've already pulled the rod out. And then I believe this piece here gets lifted up and out. This low pressure end. You love I love 1950s to 1960s American design philosophy. Just put 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick walls on everything. It makes it so it's bulletproof. There's an inside shot. That is that's the piston there. And this is where the top is the intake and the bottom is discharge. That's where the valves sit. And there's where the rod is held onto. It's screwed into here, and then the nut is put on, and it's tightened up. And you can see there's a set screw that goes in there to hold it from spinning. So it connects to the flywheel. And then all you do is you just count how many threads are exposed, and you make sure you screw it back in that much. But this is where you make your adjustment for the gap for the piston. The piston has to be a certain amount of gap, either 120 thou or so, no more and no less. So you put it around there, and this is how you would adjust it so that you can set your travel. Okay, so there you can see the low pressure has been removed, a low pressure end. Now that you can see the jack stand and the buildup of the wood to hold up the high pressure end. And there's the rod. It will be pulled out next once we disconnect it from the flywheel. There it is there. Okay, so the nut's off, you can see. Oh, and 4,600 ceramic seals. Yeah. 2 ceramic seals for $4,600. So there it is there. There's the pipe stands ready for the rod. We have to support it, and you make sure you put down some soft cloth to keep from scratching the rod. You don't want it to get scratched. There's the support we're looking at again. This was something happened to this valve. It something ate it, and I'm thinking, I don't know if we have any chemical guys in the in the chat there if you know your chemistry, but I'm thinking when they added the carbon disulfide to the sulfur, it made a chemical, an exothermic chemical reaction that ate the plastic they were using. It wasn't good enough for the high temperatures, and it did this to it. So this was actually supposed to do the sealing inside the valve, but it got eaten up, and I'm thinking it was a chemical reaction. Massive compressor, just put some wood under it. What? It's supported. Look. It's good enough to keep it standing up. You don't mind your rod getting scratched? Oh, ho. So yeah, that's what I think happened to this thing. So now these have been changed out. These things here have been changed out with something called PEEK. P-E-E-K, and it's supposed to withstand higher temperatures. So, you'd bet that too? Okay, nice, DJ, nice. Yeah, like I say, I'm not a chemist or anything like that, but if it was a chemical reaction, wouldn't the whole seal be eaten up? But it wasn't hot enough to eat the metal. It was just hot enough to melt the plastic that was inside the valve. Because where's that picture? Right here. So that ring would sit on these springs. But I think oh, PEEK is good stuff. You did your research project on. Nice. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about, Godzillionaire. You're guessing? That's okay, DJ. Nothing wrong with guessing. I'm guessing too. Oh. DJ, come on, man. So yeah, the wood is only there when we're in shutdown. Otherwise, it's held up by these concrete supports. So because we have to take this thing apart, we have to support it. So PEEK is wear resistant, chemical resistant. PETA to machine though, because it absorbs heat and ruins machine tools. Oh, okay. Nice. Godzilla, you know your stuff all right. Yeah, so this is one thing that gets pulled apart. Really expensive, yes, but you know what? For us to have our custom-made valves, it's worth it, because now I'm just going to pull the valves out, hand them to the guys that made them to us, or that made them for us, and be like, here you go, please service these. They will do that. They'll take them, they'll analyze them, they'll see if they're wearing properly, or if they're doing well, and then they'll give them back to us, and they'll be ready to go back in. But yes, that is the one of the machines that gets taken apart. Another one is obviously our pumps. They get rebuilt every year. We've got some Vertiflow pumps. That's just a brand name, but they're just all centrifugal pumps. Write myself a note. You bet those PEEK seals look new at next shutdown? Okay. I really want to know how they turned out, and I'll find out, because I'll pull the valves out myself and have a look at them. You remember peek and poke commands on the Commodore 64? I like the Commodore 64. That was a great machine. My buddy had a Commodore 128. We played, I can't remember how much time we sunk into playing Judge Dredd and Test Drive. Like, that was fun stuff. See what else I got for you guys here. I should have some other stuff here that gets Yeah, there we go. Some of you guys have seen this before. But this pump gets rebuilt every year. Or there's 3 of them. There's A, B, and C. And, you know, well, we'll do 1 a year. Whichever one has run the most. So if it's got a lot of hours on it, okay, you're getting rebuilt. So we pull it into the shop, or I pull it into the shop. Take out the mechanical seal, take out the impeller, take off the volute. Check inside for any wear, because what I've seen is the insides of the pump, like we can change parts, but when the actual casing starts to wear, that's when we gotta take notice and buy a new one. And one of the casings is worn. You can see right there, that light sort of shows you where it's worn. And it's gotten worse now since the last time I took this photo. So this one needs replaced. And I've got one on order. It's like $6,000. And yeah, we're going to replace it. We need more suction head to reduce that cavitation. You know what? You're right, Godzilla, and I know we have a problem with that. But there's not much I can do unless I can change that header system that we're attached to. So pumps A, B, and C are all attached to one header system. Now, only one pump runs at a time, but I'm wondering whether our header is too small to supply the liquid it needs to not cavitate. So I have to get in touch with my engineer to see what he thinks. Because stuff like this is not good. Especially when this is the inside of the pump. This is where the shaft sits. Like, there's no liquid going through here. A bearing goes in this spot here. And then on the other side, through this, is where the impeller goes. That makes contact with the fluid. But the fluid that we pump does not come into this cavity here. But we're still getting wear. So maybe it's bearing vibration. Or the vibration of the impeller is causing the bearing to rub on the inside there. Because if we looked at the impeller, I mean, yeah, it's got some... Yeah, you can see the pits where the cavitation has occurred. And if you don't know what cavitation is, it's just the small implosion of bubbles. So they don't explode, they implode. And they cause a lot more damage, and they take pieces of metal with them. So that's what cavitation is. And it sounds like a grinding sound when the pump runs. So just in case you guys don't know what cavitation is, you wonder what we're talking about. Wear due to shaft misalignment, maybe? That's a good point. We don't have any coupling alignment that we can do. We do very basic lineup, like with our straight edge. We don't have a machine we put on there for any kind of, getting the couplings lined up within like a couple of thou. Acid pits, you think? Probably not. All it's pumping is ethylene glycol. And I know that can get acidic, but we have pH balanced stuff that we add to it. And we keep the pH within between 8 to 10. I believe that's what they want, between 8 and 10. So I would lean towards cavitation there, tits. And there's the bizarre mechanical seal. I just dislike that thing so much. It is just the absolute worst design for mechanical seal. Another shot of the inside of the pump from the back there. The original reason for getting it replaced was the fact that it seized up because the keeper on the bearings went. So they're supposed to be spaced out nice and even, like back here, not all bunched up like this. So the keepers, here they are. They failed. The keepers failed, and they caused the piling up of the pump. It's the original mechanical seal. It's literally called a Type 1. Oh, that's good to know. It's probably, this is probably old enough to be the Type 1 pump. Actually, it's a Durco Mark II, and I think they have the Mark IIIs out now, so. But yes, the failure of the cage, the thing that holds the ball bearings in place, that's something you just can't predict is going to happen. There's a better of a shot. You can see it's a 3307 bearing. But yeah, there you go. That's something else that gets rebuilt. Mark IIIs have been out for 30 years. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I never said we were modern at the plant there. But yeah, we have a Mark II. Or no, sorry, that's not Durco. That's a Vertiflow pump. The Durco pump is getting replaced, though, with a Mark III. You literally stumbled across your seal and seal piping reference guide earlier today. Nice. There you go. Your mind's all refreshed and ready to go, eh? Yeah, there's so much stuff to do during shutdown, you guys. Things that run all the time, like just the simple stuff like fans that are used on heat exchangers. So your fan, especially this one set of fans we have, you can't get to them unless the whole thing is shut down. You have to pull the top off. You have to climb in through the top to get at the belt, which is underneath the fan. So you got to climb in that way. And then you have to go through, okay, check the bearings, check the fan belt, change the bearings. But you can only do it during shutdown. Any other time, it has to wait. So stuff like that. The cooling of the heat exchangers, very important. Modern? You guys still get deliveries from Dice Wagon? Well, I never said the plant was state of the art. We are still running on a lot of stuff from the 1960s, so I could take some pictures of if you guys are interested in electrical stuff from the 1960s. We still got some Class 1, Div 1, which just means it's explosion proof. I could show you some of those, and you'd be like, why isn't this in a museum? So we're slowly getting, our newest gas compressor is installed now, and it's from 2021 or 2022. Anyways, at least it's from the 20th century or 21st century. So we're slowly working our way along, slowly upgrading things, making them better. Other things we have to do that you can't do when the plant is running is changing piping. We have a lot of carbon steel piping, and that is not good. Carbon steel rusts, and it has a hard time holding up against all the corrosive elements we have. We need stainless steel piping. So what they're doing now is they're going through every single piece of pipe, and they're checking to see if it's made out of stainless or if it's made out of carbon steel, and they're changing them over. Are we all 460 or 575? We're 460, believe it or not. I know a lot of modern plants are 575 or 600 volt, but we are 460. 460, 480, whatever you want to call it. Manager doesn't know about electricity, right? It's not powered by the old mill water. They probably pay like it's 1642. Yeah. Yeah, we got the old horse and carriage there. They turn the wheel, you know. Got to have the guy that whips the donkey. Get up there. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. So when shutdown comes, I get a lot busier because I'm one of the few guys qualified to rip apart machinery, put them back together properly without making it worse or breaking things. We got here. Okay, nope, not that. Just checking around for some other pictures. Yeah, there it is. Here, one couple final pictures here for you guys. There's the new. This is brand new. Been running since March. Brand new gas compressor by Dresser Rand. 1,700 pound motor on top. Because they didn't want to have such a big footprint. Otherwise the motor would have been down on the end. But they're like, we can put it on top. You guys turned to wheel with the slaves like in Conan the Barbarian. Shh. Don't say anything. But yes, that's what a modern gas compressor looks like. It's got its own little motor for powering the lubricator system. And there's a shot. It's not very wide. Like that's the foundation right there for it. And then that's the view of it from the side, like very narrow. There's the lubrication system. Got 6 lubricators. They all lubricate the different areas of packing that need to be done. There's the other end, the back end. So this is where the flywheel is. This is one of our old pumps from the 1960s. It's a Hills Mecana. I believe they call it a K2. We have K3s as well, which is one size bigger, but this is the K2. There's that. Remember I was telling you about carbon steel pipes? This is one of the carbon steel pipes that needs to be replaced. It's actually, we wondered what the smell of hydrogen sulfide was. We're like, where's that smell coming from? And sure enough, this thing holed out. It had probably a pinhole size in it. And yeah, we had to isolate it and stop feeding anything through it. So that's what it looks like. It's going to be replaced with a brand new stainless. Here's another shot of the new compressor. Shot of the lubricator pump because, you know, one failed already. And it's like, oh, okay. You guys sold us something and the lubricator failed already. So I guess I have to, that's why I took a picture so I could send the part number to the local Howden dealer and be like, hey, I need 2 of these. You bet we're going to get 8 years out of the new one? It's going to get worked on every year. It's not going to get ripped apart as much. I'm cautioning the manager. I'm like, look, we don't need to rip the whole thing apart. That's just crazy. That's like a 5-year or 10-year thing to pull it all apart. All we have to do is change the packing, check the valves, make sure they're okay. If they're not, change them out. And change the oil, change the filter, make sure everything is good, and then I'd say we leave it at that. Don't rip this thing apart for no reason. Be no reason to rip it all apart. And I hope we get, well, you're saying 8. I hope we get more than that, at least until I retire, because I don't have to deal with it. As soon as I retire, this thing can go for, it can go for a shit. No. All right, well, I think that's enough for this time around, everybody. I think we did all right. Hope you guys learned a little bit more about shutdown. When shutdown happens, somebody asked me, "Oh, do all the employees get laid off?" No, not at all. It's all hands on deck. Everybody helps out. So when a plant shuts down, they bring in even more people. So you'll have your regular employees and you'll have contractors that come in and do stuff. So it gets to be very busy. We'll have a lot of people, a lot of foot traffic. What do you mean I'm not getting 15 years? Come on, tits. You're going to make me prove you 15 years from now. 15 years from now, I'm going to be on here. I'm going to have pictures of the compressor and be like, "Hey, look, tits, it's still running." I swear, I'll do it. I'll do it. But I want to thank everybody that showed up today. I appreciate you guys, like David Glenn and DJ Ronnie G, and of course Tits and Ray Guns, and Skylar. Skylar, it was good to see you. And who else was around? Oh, James was. It's always a pleasure to see James stop by. And Godzillionaire, everyone's favorite kaiju. It's nice to have somebody to chat with about stuff that we both know about. And who else was out there? I swear there was more people out there. Oh yes, Mike from Pacific 414 showed up. He's got his celebration of Transformers going on tomorrow, and I'm supposed to be on there as well. We'll see how it goes with shutdown. I start working longer hours at shutdown because there's lots to do. So hopefully I'll be able to get away and come on the show and talk Transformers. 40th anniversary of Transformers. Man, what a great show. 15 years, your ghost will be in chat. Come on, tits, you gotta last a lot long, eh? Do it for me, come on. If you guys could do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, spread the word, tell your friends, We like to have a good time here, talk about industrial stuff and see what's going on out there from the trades perspective. And I'm glad I got people like you guys stopping by and, asking questions and, putting me to the test, because I can sit here and yap away, but unless you guys, come by and be like, "Hey, what about this? What about that? What about this?" Then, that's a little more, that gives me a little bit of a task. You put me to task where I have to use my brain. Tiger Train with Pop Culture Mechanic. There you go. Maybe I'll bust out the old train moving or the rail car moving video. Bust that out at a later date there. Because that's always fun to do. Hop in the loader and move some rail cars around. And there's other good channels out there too. People I personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414, who was in the chat earlier, and DJ Ronnie G. If you like astronomy and turtles and tech, go hang out with DJ Ronnie G. Usually Monday at 10:45 Eastern. There's Brandon, the anime guy. There's Carl at the RNG podcast. I see Carl play a lot of games. He's a cool guy to talk to. There's Tomby. He's the bloke across the water there in Great Britain. He's a great guy. He gave me a nice shout out there. He goes and he looks at smaller, streamers and is like, "Hey, let's give this guy a shout out. Hey, subscribe to this guy." So thanks a lot to Tomby. He's a good fella. You probably earning a rest. Raises bail money. That's right, David. There's Angry Canadian, Nerdpora Lifeform, there's Whoopa Troopa, there's Blaine, from Blaine's Escape Corner, and also Punkwaddle, everyone's favorite penguin. He always has his ponderances that come out on Saturdays at 12:45 Mountain Time. I like watching those. They're usually really good. Anyways, coming up, Saturday is Retro Game Day, and I finished Dragon Quest IV, everybody. Believe it or not, I finally finished it. Man, what a long game. I didn't realize I've been playing it since May. Oh my god. I was checking, because I try to keep track of the games I play. And yeah, I started it in May. Whew, what a long haul. Anyways, time for not a JRPG. I'm going to be playing something else on Saturday. And it's not going to be an RPG, because I need a break from that. So something a little easier. Something a little more of a thinking man's game. So if you're interested, stop on by and see what I'm going to do. I hope you guys will enjoy it anyway. And then on Sunday's Anime Chat Day. If you're an anime fan, stop on by. This month I'm doing Anime for Beginners. So if you're just starting out, if you haven't watched any anime and you're kind of curious what you should try, there's some shows that you can watch that'll ease you into it. We don't need to go 0 to 100, right? We just ease on into it. You know, you're just starting out. You don't need to be traumatized by anything. So tune in. I'll have some suggestions for some beginner anime, and hopefully you guys will take it to heart. You know, maybe that'll begin your anime journey. Yeah, David, like Saza's-san. The thing that has 2,600 episodes. Yeah, that's the beginner anime. You'll be watching that for the rest of your life. I guess if you watch one episode a day. That'd definitely be something you'd have to binge. But crazy, it's going on strong. I think it started in the 1960s. And then you're going to follow it up with One Piece, right? 1,100 episodes. That's 37 days of content? Whoa, jeez. Yeah, you're watching for over a month. Tune in on Sunday. If you guys are anime fans, or if you know anime fans, let them know. I stream on the weekends, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So, you know, early for me. Not so early if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, but, you know, stop on by. Tell somebody about it. If they like anime, send them my way. Or Kingdom, their tits. And then finally, Tuesday rolls around. It's going to be Trades Talk Tuesday again. I'm going to be deep into Shutdown. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it. We'll see if I'm going to be working long hours. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I've got a lot of stuff to rebuild, and we only got a month to do it, so I may even have to work weekends. That's the thing I dislike the most, because I work 5 days a week. I only get 2 days off. But if I have to work weekends, then I'm going to have to take my holidays in November. Because I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need a nice solid 2 or 3 weeks off. Just to get away from it all. I haven't had a holiday yet this year, so they really screwed me moving the shutdown to September. If it would have been in May and June, no problem, because I take my holidays in August. But nope, screwed me over. Decided to move it, and because I was trying to be the responsible one. I'm like, well, it would be irresponsible to take holidays and not get ready for shutdown. So I've got to make sure everything's, because it only hurts me if I don't have stuff ready. It doesn't hurt the plant manager, because he just looks at me and goes, "Hey, where's the parts? I thought you ordered them." So, anyways, enough complaining from me. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming by. You know, you guys are the ones that make it fun to be around here and hang out in the chat. Not working, we can stop bragging. I'm not. I'm not bragging. Yeah, it's something. I don't care for it. But it's better than working the 12-hour days, the 412s. Anyway, you guys, I really had a fun time. I hope you did too. Join me next week, okay? If you want to tune in for some more trades talk. Spread the word, everybody. Let them know old Pop's here. So I hope to see you guys on Saturday. But until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.